Stand outside for 20 minutes without sunscreen, and your skin turns red and painful. A lizard does not have this problem. A bird does not have this problem. Almost nothing else on this planet burns from its own star. But the real explanation is far stranger than you think. You were not designed for this planet. At least that is what a growing number of people now believe. And once you hear the list of evidence, you might understand why. Think about it for a moment. Every creature around you seems to fit its environment perfectly. Fish breathe water without effort. Birds read the sky without instruments. Even insects sense danger through vibrations you will never feel. You, on the other hand, arrived on this planet needing shoes, clothing, sunscreen, and central heating just to survive a normal week. Does that sound like a species built for this world, or a species dropped into it? Start with your spine. Nearly 80% of people will experience chronic back pain at some point in their life. Your spine evolved for a body that walked on 4 legs, then got twisted upright, and it has been complaining ever since. Now think about childbirth. For almost every other mammal on Earth, giving birth is quick and relatively safe. For humans, it is one of the most dangerous events a body can go through, and for most of history, it killed people regularly. Why would evolution create a body so badly suited to its own most essential function? Then there is your immune system. Nearly a third of people carry allergies, which means their body is declaring war on pollen, peanuts, or a house cat. That is not a defense system. That is a system attacking things that were never a threat in the first place. And it does not stop at the physical. You are the only species on Earth that lies awake at night, thinking about its own death. Every other animal reacts to danger in the moment and then moves on. You carry the weight of your mortality every single day of your life. Where did that come from? Every other species on this planet exists inside a loop. It takes what it needs and gives something back. Humans are different. We clear forests, drain oceans, and burn through resources faster than the planet can replace them. Scientists studying invasive species describe this exact pattern. A new organism entering an environment it did not evolve alongside, consuming without balance, disrupting everything around it. Is that not exactly what humans are doing to Earth? In 1973, the biochemist Francis Crick, one of the 2 scientists who discovered the structure of DNA, published a paper with Leslie Orgel proposing something called directed panspermia. Their idea was that life on Earth may not have started here at all. It may have been deliberately sent here by an intelligent civilization, seeded into the oceans billions of years ago. It sounds like science fiction, but the pieces used to support it are real. The Murchison meteorite, which fell to Earth in Australia in 1969, contains amino acids, the basic building blocks of life, and some of those amino acids are barely found on our own planet. That single discovery forced scientists to seriously consider that the raw material for life might travel through space far more easily than anyone once assumed. Then there are tardigrades, tiny water-dwelling creatures barely visible to the naked eye, which have survived the vacuum of open space, something almost nothing else with a heartbeat can claim. If a creature that small can endure conditions that would instantly kill you, what else might be capable of crossing the distance between worlds? Writers like Ellis Silver have taken this even further, arguing in his book Humans Are Not From Earth that our sunburn, our back pain, our difficult births, and our broken circadian rhythms are not evolutionary accidents. They are the signs of a species dropped into an environment it was never built for. Silver even points to how poorly humans tolerate direct sunlight compared to nearly every other land mammal, and how oddly specific our biological weaknesses seem when lined up side by side. So are you actually descended from something that came from another world? Almost certainly not. But that does not mean the evidence disappears. It means the explanation is different. Scientists call it evolutionary mismatch, and it explains almost everything on that original list without a single spaceship. Your spine is not broken. It is mid-transition. Bipedal walking is only about 6 million years old, which sounds ancient, until you realize your body has had far less time to adapt to walking upright than it had to adapt to walking on 4 limbs. 6 million years is barely a blink for evolution to redesign a skeleton from scratch. Your childbirth difficulty has a name too. Researchers call it the obstetric dilemma, Human babies are born with unusually large brains, and the human pelvis can only widen so much before it interferes with walking efficiently. Your body is stuck negotiating between two conflicting goals, big brains and narrow hips, and childbirth is where that negotiation gets settled, sometimes at great cost. Some researchers, including biologist Jonathan Wells, have pushed back on parts of this idea, arguing the story is more complicated than a simple trade-off. But the underlying tension between brain size and birth is not in dispute. Even your hairlessness has an explanation. Researchers like Peter Wheeler have argued that losing body hair helped early humans sweat more efficiently, cooling down during long-distance hunting in the heat of the African savanna. Losing your fur was not a mistake, it was a trade. You gave up built-in protection from the sun in exchange for the ability to run further than almost any other mammal on the planet. That is also, quite simply, why you burn so easily today. Your allergies fit the same pattern. Your immune system evolved in a world full of parasites and constant infection. Remove those threats, which modern life has largely done, and an immune system built for war with nothing left to fight starts attacking harmless things instead. Even your fear of death fits into ordinary evolution. Self-awareness came with a cost. Once your brain became capable of imagining the future, it became capable of imagining its own end. That is not a defect from another world. It is the price of the exact same intelligence that lets you build cities, cure diseases, and ask the question you are asking right now. One thing does not have a clean answer, and even scientists admit it. Every other species that ever developed even simple tool use took millions of years to make any further progress. Chimpanzees have used stone tools for what appears to be thousands of generations without significant change. Early humans went from sharpened rocks to nuclear weapons in about 2 million years, and almost all of that transformation happened in just the last 10,000. The truly staggering part is what happened after that. From horse-drawn travel to landing on the moon took less than 2 centuries. From the first telephone call to a supercomputer in every pocket took barely 100 years. No other species on Earth has ever done anything close to that. Not close. It is not simply that humans are smart. Other animals show impressive intelligence too. Crows solve puzzles. Dolphins recognize themselves in mirrors. Octopuses navigate mazes with no bones and no spine at all, yet none of them ever built a wheel, wrote a sentence, or launched an object beyond the sky. It is the speed, the acceleration, the way progress seems to multiply on top of itself instead of crawling forward at the pace every other creature on this planet is bound to. Scientists have theories involving language, culture, and the ability to pass knowledge between generations instead of losing it every time a single life ends. A single human today can learn in a classroom what took entire civilizations centuries to discover. That ability to stack knowledge, generation after generation, may be the real engine behind the acceleration. But no one has fully explained why that combination ignited in humans and in no other species that has ever lived here, on this planet, under this same sun, breathing this same air. Think about what that means the next time you scroll through a phone that fits in your palm, yet holds more information than every library that existed before the 20th century. You are living inside the fastest chapter of change any species has ever produced, and you barely stop to notice it. You were almost certainly not planted here by another civilization. Your body is not broken. It is mid-transition, carrying the evidence of trade-offs made over millions of years. What still has no clean explanation is how fast your species reshaped the entire planet in only a few short centuries. Maybe you are not from another world after all. Maybe you are simply the first species from this one to ever really wonder about it.